Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're having a look at another front-end mentor challenge. Today we're looking at the advice generator app. And we're going to look at APIs today and how we can incorporate that with some JavaScript. And I'll go into a little bit of detail on what an API is once we get the styling sorted. So this is what we're doing here. And what it does is it generates a random piece of advice that pulls some data from a third-party external source from a website and populates this card here for that. So let's dive into it. I've already done some of the basic styling just for efficiency reasons. So what we can do is just get straight into it. So there is what we're trying to replicate. Alright. So it's just going to be one card, just main. It looks like it's broken up into 4 things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out the content. But the idea is that this will all be blank. And then when you populate it, it'll fill in, basically. But I'm just filling it in just to sort of get an idea of what it looks like. So it's just easy to style it. And then this break point is like it's an image. Break point. Wait. Call point number. Break point. That's spelled wrong. And then we've got a button here, and that's got an image. We can put this one in dice. Generate quote button. Cool, that's looking pretty decent. That's pretty much all we need. So let's get into it. So main background image, color. Sorry, yeah, wasn't sure what I was doing there. Background color. Update this. Wrong color. Secondary background. And that is too light. So let me go back to the style guide. I believe it's this darker one. There we go. Play flex. I'm going to do the padding a little bit different. I'm going to do top, left and right. I'm not doing the bottom. I'm going to do something else for that just because of the button that's involved. So I'll do like 24 pixels, 16, 20 pixels, 0 pixels, 20 pixels. Bit of border radius in here. have a look actually. So the border radius is 10, and this padding is like 20, and this one is a bit more, maybe 30. And what else? So we want to do this image, and what do we call it? Breakpoint. We just want to get the. We're going to do, because we want to make it responsive. We're going to do content. Images. We're going to do the mobile version. So there it is there. I'm going to do text align center, and we're going to do text transform uppercase for that, and the color we want it to be secondary color, yep. And this breakpoint, yep, that's fine. With the button, we want the background color to be the secondary color. Yeah, border, none. Border radius, 50% to get a circle. And we'll do padding, maybe 15 pixels. That looks okay for now. And what size do we want for this? 64. Okay, so I don't actually need padding. We'll just do width. We're just going to do aspect ratio 1:1. And I'm going to transform this on the y-axis. So only 32 pixels, just so it gets that point there. And I'm gonna put a margin on the quote, maybe like 24 pixels. I'm gonna do 32 actually. Do 24. Yeah, looks pretty decent. What else do we need to look for? And we'll do a max width on this of 540. So let's have a quick look at how that looks. Yeah, it's looking nice. And I'll just do a quick media query. Well, I'll just say like 650 pixels. And we'll do breakpoint content. We'll change that image, design images to desktop. And do like 550. Yeah, it's looking good. And we'll do a hover for the button. So transition, and we'll do a cursor pointer. And it is a border radius, no, box shadow, sorry. 0 pixels, 0 pixels, secondary color, and we'll do 20 pixels, 20 pixels. Alright, too big. That's not bad. What happens if I change this? Okay. So now we just got to figure out what's going to work best and what's going to look best for this. So it looks like that. 2 pixels, maybe. That's looking pretty good. Maybe 1 pixel. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Alrighty. See how that's going. Alright, that's looking nice. Also, there seems to be there's some sort of spacing on this. A lot of spacing. So I want to do 4. Yeah, looks alright. Alright, awesome. Now let's get into the JavaScript. Okay, so first of all, what is an API? I'm not an expert at this, so I'm just going to use Google for a bit of help. So it's an application programming interface. So basically, it's just a way for software to communicate with one or more computer programs, and it's just a way that data can be retrieved and stored in external places for various reasons. Those I can share in a link down the bottom. I'll find a better explanation in a website. But so the API itself for the advice is its own thing, but we're also going to implement the fetch API, which is a JavaScript API, and that provides an interface to write code or write fetch requests that will then pull in that data from the external site. So it uses request and response objects, and it's all inbuilt, and it's just, yeah, helps you do this in a more efficient way. Super handy. A lot of websites use it, and I know the further you go along with these front-end mentor challenges, you'll find that there's a few more API challenges, a bit more difficult than this, but yeah, this is a good way to dive in, or at least wade in, and just practice doing it. It's also a good way to fetch JSON files and compile them on a website. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so this is the fun part. So now we get to do the JavaScript, implement this API feature, so then we start pulling some quotes from the internet. So the API is actually in the brief down in the challenge description, and we're going to use the random advice portion of this. There are other ways and other techniques and just different examples that they're using, but we're going to use this one. So this is the URL that we're pulling it from, and as you can see, it returns this object, and then this is where it's pulling its data from. So we're going to copy that, save that for later. We'll put that down here. Actually, so we're going to fetch it like so, but we'll put that in a function later. We're just going to create our variables. So quote number, will be quote number. and then quote and generate quote. Quote will be quote, and generate quote button. Also a quote button. We'll add a event listener to this one. And populate quote. Populate quote as a function. And we're also going to do a event on the window load. So just when the browser is refreshed, it'll run this function just so it populates the quote. And we're going to add the fetch into here. So yeah, what it's doing is it's, I don't know the specifics, like I don't know the like terms and stuff, but what it's doing is it's going out on the internet and then pulling that data so then we can use it as an object. So what you got to do is once it's fetched, you're doing a return or a promise. I believe that's what they call it. And it's returning the response as a JSON file. It's passing it into a JSON file, and then we're going to repeat this to create a data name. To create a name called data, basically, it's just an easier way to sort of maintain it. And so the object itself is now called data. So this whole thing is called data, but we want to try and target slip and then get these keys of ID and advice. So we're going to target slip and we're going to name that something. So we'll just name it name equals data.slip. And then, so inside this is where we do all the functions. So quote number and quote dot inner HTML and inner HTML here equals name dot ID. So as you can see, it's already populating. And then this one will be name dot advice, I believe it was. Yeah, awesome. So now it's populating there. And if I press the button, it should populate and create another one. So yeah, that's it for what this API is. It's very simple. It's just it's a fetch request, and then it returns that data, and then you can use that in your own website. So we'll have a look what it is on the full screen. And there are ways to debug this. So if no response.ok, you can console log errors, or you can do catch errors, just to sort of debug it and figure out what's going on. But overall, that's what this is. It's a very simple one, but it's a very good way to learn the basics and the foundations and what's happening with APIs. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll put that in, and we'll look at the comparison with the challenge. Okay, so it's all in there now, and it's not going to look exactly like their one because it's generated a random quote, but the design is pretty much, it's pretty spot on. I'm really happy with this one, and it looks real. Actually, it doesn't add quotes. Okay, so that's one thing I'll add myself. So this should be a span, and we want to add the quotes ourselves here and here. The ID. Alright, there we go. So now it's within quotation marks. Yeah, awesome. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. I hope that was quick enough, but long enough and detailed enough that you can keep up and understand a bit more. I'm going to venture into a lot more API stuff because I find this is like really fun part of coding is when you start getting into this more in-depth JavaScript and techniques. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.